glad to welcome a warm welcome to everyone, all staff members, article assistant to this study circle meeting on GST monthly returns. I hope today's session will be engaging, interactive and informative. Today's session will be taken by Mallikarjun Pattar. Let us have an engaging session.
Good evening everyone. Today's session is on GST monthly returns. Objective of the GST monthly returns. The objective of the GST monthly returns are to ensure a correct reporting of outward and inward supplies and enable seamless ITC flow and ensure a self-assessment and tax payment, and also prevent of tax evasion and mismatches. This is the overall GST monthly compliance flow. GSTR1, dealer uploads the sales invoice in GSTR1A. If anything missed out in GSTR1, the same has been amended in GSTR1A. In IMS, recipient reviews the invoice and they take action according to that. In GSTR2B, it is a system generated ITC. In last GSTR3B, tax payment return. Next, what is GSTR1? GSTR1 is a statutory return for reporting the outward supplies, and it contains the invoice-wise details of sales filed monthly or quarterly by registered persons and enable ITC to the recipient. And GSTR1 is backed by section 37 and rule 59, and the due date for the same is 11th of subsequent month. Persons required to file GSTR1: regular taxpayers, monthly filers and quarterly filers under Q&A scheme. And the person who are not required to file GSTR1 are composition dealers, input service distributors, non-resident taxable persons, TDS deductors and TDS collectors, online information database and access retrieval service providers. These are the contents of GSTR1: B2B supplies, B2C supplies, credit notes, exports and exempt supplies, amendments, advances, HSN summary and documents. This is the photo view of GSTR1. Once you click the tab, it's open in this way, and here are 13 table in GSTR1. Now I like to explain a generated summary of GSTR1. In table number 4A, outward supplies, regular outward supplies means B2B regular invoices are uploaded in table number 4A. In table number 4B, B2B reverse charge means outward supplies which are liable under reverse charge. In table number 5, outward interstate supplies which invoice value is more than 1 lakh are uploaded in table number 5. Table number 6A is for exports. In exports with payment and exports without payment. Exports with payment, here we pay the tax liability. In without payment, we will furnish a letter of undertaking to the government. Same 6B is for a supplies made to SEZ unit and SEZ developer. It is also same like exports, SEZ with payment or without payment. And next is 6C. 6C is for deemed exports. Deemed exports means if you supply any goods or if you supply any goods to the person and that person is again exporting forward, then it is treated as deemed exports, and that invoices is uploaded in table number 6C. The table number 7 is for B2C others and B2C others, and table number 8 for nil rated, exempted and non-GST supplies, and table number 9 is for amendment of B2B reverse charge, exports and SEZ and SEZ supplies, and to B2CL. These related amendments are done in 9A. 9B is for credit notes. In 9B, credit notes for registered person and unregistered person. In registered person, credit notes relating to B2B regular supplies, B2B reverse charge and deemed exports, SEZ supplies are uploaded in table number 9B, registered person. And for unregistered person, B2CL, exports with payment or without payment, these transaction related credit notes are uploaded in table number 9B. Table number 9C is for amendment of credit notes related to supply made to registered person, and table number 9C is also same amendment of credit and debit notes related to unregistered persons. Table number 10 is for amendment of taxable supplies made to B2C others. And the 11 is for advance received for which invoice is not issued. That amount has to be declared in 11A. And the same 11B is for 11B is for the advance received amount is adjusted against the current month declared sales. That has to be adjusted in 11B. And table number 12 is for HSN summary. For HSN summary, B2B is mandatory. If aggregate turnover of business is more than 5 crore, then 6 digits are compulsory. If aggregate turnover of business is less than 5 crore, then 4 digits are compulsory. For B2B supplies, if aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore, 6 digits are compulsory. If aggregate turnover is less than 5 crore, it's optional for them to furnish HSN summary. And table number 13 for is documents, means here we upload invoices of our taxable supplies and many others. Table number 14 for is supply made through e-commerce operators. Here table number 14A is for liable to collect a tax under 52, means we made a supplies through e-commerce operator, but tax liability is borne by supplier only. That has to be declared in 14A. And 14B is for liable to pay under section 9 and 5, means supply made through e-commerce operator, and the GST liability also borne by e-commerce operator. That has to be reported in table number 14B. This table number 15 is for supplies under section 9.5, means this table is purely relates to e-commerce operators. And any amendments relating to section supplies under section 9.5 are made in 15A and 15B, 15A1 or 15A2. Now we are moving to GSTR 1A. What is GSTR 1A? GSTR 1A is to amend or add a supply records after filing a GSTR 1 but before filing a GSTR 3B. Who has to file a GSTR 1A? Any registered taxpayer who discover errors or omission in their GSTR 1 for the same tax period has to furnish the GSTR 1A. When you have to file the GSTR 1A? GSTR 1A is available after filing a GSTR 1, but before filing the 3B of that month, we have to file a GSTR 1A. This is the photo view of GSTR 1A. Next, now we are moving to the IMS, Invoice Management System. Invoice Management System is a facility on the GST portal that allows the recipient to accept, reject or keep offending the invoices uploaded by the supplier before ITC gets auto-reflected in GSTR 2B. IMS gives a control to recipient over which invoices should be considered for ITC. Actions available on IMS is accept, reject, pending the invoices. Why IMS was introduced? IMS was introduced to reduce the ITC mismatches. In earlier, taxpayer often faced mismatches between supplier invoices and ITC claims. IMS allows a real-time validation. The second one is improved transparency. Both suppliers and recipient can see the status of invoices, whether invoices is accepted, rejected or kept pending. And third one is enhance the compliances. IMS ensures that only valid invoices are considered for ITC, reducing disputes and notices. And fourth one is streamline workflow. IMS provides a preview of GSTR 2B before filing a GSTR 3B. So taxpayer can correct the issues in advances. And last one is support automation. IMS works seamlessly with e-invoicing, auto-populating invoices in GSTR 1 and then into IMS. This is the photo view of inward supplies. Here you can take a action from the moment invoice appears in IMS portal, IMS dashboard until file your corresponding GSTR 3B. The draft of GSTR 2B is generated on 14th of a following month, but you can still act on IMS until you file your 3B. If you don't take any action, then by GSTR 3B deadline, invoices are treated as deemed accepted and included in your ITC calculations. Pending invoices can be carry forward up to only time specified in time limit specified in section 16(4) of CGST Act, and the time limit of section 16(4) is 30th November of next financial or filing of GSTR 9, whichever is earlier. You may keep invoices in pending status up to the time specified in section 16(4). Once time limit expires, ITC is permanently lost even if invoices remains in IMS. Here IMS for outward supplies means when supplier files a GSTR1, the all uploaded invoices are come to this portal, IMS portal. Here supplier can also see the action taken by the recipient, whether recipient is accepted the invoice, rejected the invoice, or kept pending. And next one, here the rejected records means where liability added back to GSTR 3B. There are 4 cases where if supplier raise a supplier raise a credit note and the recipient is rejected that credit note, then that credit note will be added back to our GSTR 3B, and the same has been tax paid through the GSTR 3B. GSTR 2B. What is a GSTR 2B? GSTR 2B is a static document, unlike a 2A, which kept changing as the supplier updated invoice. GSTR 2B is a fixed for each tax period once generated. GSTR 2B is auto-drafted, generated basis on suppliers filing in GSTR 1, GSTR 5 means non-resident taxable person, and GSTR 6 input service distributors. And third one is includes imports. GSTR 2B captures the imports of goods from the ICE gates and supplies from the SEZ units and developers. And eligibility marking. GSTR 2B shows the which ITC is eligible and which is ineligible block credits under GST law. And no filing required. Taxpayer do not file the GSTR 2B. It only used to reconcile a ITC in GSTR 3B. In every month 14th 2B is auto generated. Why 2B is important? It acts as a final and frozen ITC statement for a month and ensure only eligible ITC is claimed and helps avoid wrong ITC, reversals, interest and penalties. Serves as a primary reference document for the audit and assessments. This is the photo view of 2B. This is the GSTR 2B, and the first one is table number 1 is for GST number, 2 is for legal name and registration, legal name of the registered person, trade name and date of generation. Third is ITC available summary. Table number 3rd, part A, 1 shows that all other ITC. It normally covers the purchases from registered person, means B2B invoices and e-commerce operator documents. That input comes in this table. And second one is inward supplies from ISD. Inward supplies from ISD. If you receive invoices from ISD, like head office is distributing a ISD credit, then that input in that ISD credit comes in this table. And third is for inward supply liable for reverse charge, means purchases where you pay the GST under reverse charge, and that input comes here. Once you pay the GST amount, you can claim the ITC in GSTR 3B. And fourth is import of goods. IGST paid on imports. That input comes here, and this data is fetched from IceGate. And part B is ITC available, and credit notes should be net off against the relevant available headings in GSTR 3B. Means it shows the credit note issued by the supplier which net off from the above ITC, and the data will go to the GSTR 3B. The table number 4 is for ITC not available summary. In part A is ITC not available. In 1, all other ITC supplier from registered person other than reverse charge, means if invoices is ineligible, means example invoices are time barred and place of supply is not correct, then that input comes in this table. and the second is inward supplies from ISD. The ineligible invoices of ISD are comes in this table, and table 3 is for inward supplies liable for reverse charge. Means reverse charge supplies which ITC cannot claim, that input is comes in here. And the part B is ITC not available. Means credit note should be net up against a relevant ITC against headings in GSTR 3B. Means credit notes which cannot be adjusted against ITC, and those credit notes are comes in here. And table number 5 is for reversal summary under Rule 37A. Rule 37A requires a reversal if supplier hasn't filed a GSTR 3B up to 30th November of next year. That input has to be reversed in GSTR 3B, and that input is automatically come from comes in this table. And table number 6 is for ITC rejected. The invoices which are rejected in IMS portal, that invoices are comes in ITC rejected. Next is GSTR 3B. What is the GSTR 3B? GSTR 3B is a monthly and quarterly self-declared summary return in which a registered person declare outward supplies, inward supplies liable to RCM, eligible and ineligible ITC, net tax liability, and tax paid in cash and credit. GSTR 3B is not an invoice-wise return; it is a summary return, and GSTR 3B is backed by Section 39 and Rule 61. The due date for the same is 20th of subsequent month. This is the portal view of GSTR 3B. Table number 3.1, details of outward supplies and inward supplies liable to reverse charge other than covered in table number 3.1.1 means 3.1A, outward supplies made to registered person other than nil rated, zero rated and exempt supply are comes in here. This table and this table, the data is comes from GSTR 1 only. And table number 2, 3.1B is for outward supplies made to outward supplies means is zero rated supplies, and C is for other outward supplies that are nil rated and exempted, and 3.1D is for inward supplies liable to reverse charge. Means if any of the RCM turnover we have to declare in D, 3.1D, and the 3.1 is for non-GST outward supplies. And the next table is 3.1.1, details of supplier notified under Section 9(5) of the CGST Act 2017 are corresponding provision in IGST, UTGST and SGST Act. In one, taxable supplies on which electronic commerce operator has to pay tax under Section 9(5) has to be furnished by e-commerce operator. Means this table data is purely come from table number 15 of GSTR 1, and the second one is taxable supply made by the registered person to electronic commerce operator on which electronic commerce operator is required to pay tax under Section 9(5), and this is furnished in GSTR 1 by the supplier, and that data will be flowed to GSTR 3B in this table. The next is it's only reporting of interstate supplies made to unregistered persons, composition taxable person and UIN holders. Then comes table number 4 is eligible ITC. So this table the here data will be automatically comes from 2B, and here is I would like to explain ITC reversal. In ITC reversal there are two type of reversal. One is permanent nature, and in other is temporary in nature. Others is for temporary. Here I would like to explain temporary reversal. In previous period any of the ITC is reversal under temporary reversal, and now we are claiming it, and the procedure is to claim now is first we have to add in all other ITC, and second we have to report in other details. One ITC reclaimed which was reversed under table 4B2 in earlier tax period, and the other details in 2 is ineligible ITC under section 16(4) and ITC restricted due to fevers. This data is also come from 2B only, ineligible ITC. And the table number 5 is for value of exempt supply, exempt, nil rated and non GST supplies. Means this table is also come from the GSTR 1. And the next is 5.1, interest and late fee for the previous tax period. Means any of the supplier filed is 3B after a due date. Then late fees and interest are calculated automatically in GSTR 3B of the current month. And the next is payment of tax. Here 6.1A is for other than reverse charge, and B is for reverse charge and supplies made under section 9.5. And this table liability is paid through the cash only, because it cannot be adjusted against ITC, and other than reverse charge tax liability will be adjusted through ITC and also paid through cash. And here is another adjustment of negative liability of previous tax period. Means in last month, if you have no sales but you have credit notes, then that liability will then 3B will be shown in negative liability, and that negative liability will adjusted in current month's liability. After adjusting a negative liability, the net tax payable is arrived, and that has to be paid through ITC or cash. Here late fee, interest and reverse charge and supplies made on these are always paid through the cash only, and ITC cannot set up against them. And last one is breakup of tax liability declared in current month GST 3B for interest computation. Here this is the rules for credit utilization. This is ITC type: IGST ITC, CGST ITC, SGST, UTGST ITC. Means IGST ITC is first utilization for IGST liability, second utilization for CGST and IGST liability. CGST ITC is first utilization for IGST liability. Same SGST is also used first utilization used for IGST liability, and the second utilization of CGST ITC is for CGST liability only, and the SGST liability also second utilization is for SGST only. And here are the restriction for IGST ITC must be completely exhausted. And the second one is CGST cannot be utilized for SGST and UTGST, and the SGST and UTGST ITC cannot use for CGST. Here the example for same output tax liability. Here IGST of output tax liability of IGST is 40 rupees, CGST is 30, SGST is 30, total is 100 rupees. But we have ITC available ITC is IGST 50 rupees, CGST 20 rupees and SGST 10 rupees. Utilization of ITC. Here first IGST is 40, CGST 40, means IGST is 40 rupees, CGST 30, SGST 30. First we made the fully utilized the IGST input to IGST liability, and the left out 10 rupees is we use it for CGST, and later SGST ITC is set up against the SGST, and 20 rupees is total cash payable to the government. These are some questions. Question number 1 is: can a taxpayer revise a GSTR 3B after submission if errors are found? Okay, there is no revision facility exists. Errors must be corrected in subsequent GSTR 3B filings. And question number 2 is: if a taxpayer files a GSTR 3B late but has no liability, will interest still apply? No interest, since no liability, because no liability, but late fees are still applicable. And third one is: if ITC is wrongly availed and later reversed in GSTR 3B, is interest payable on the wrongly claimed ITC? Is interest payable on wrong claimed amount? Yes, interest is applicable only if the wrongly availed ITC is utilized for the payment of outward tax liability. Fourth one is: can ITC be claimed if GSTR 1 of the supplier is not filed? And the answer is no, because as per section 16(2)AA, it is not allowed to claim ITC if supplier is not filed this GSTR 1. And last one is, can GSTR 1 be revised? No, but amendments are allowed in under section 37(3). In conclusion, all GST monthly returns are interlinked. IMS ensures ITC accuracy and correct compliance avoids notices, and it's a vital tool for business growth and financial discipline. Thank you. Thank you.
As we come to the end of this wonderful session, I thank our principal for conducting such sessions which are helpful for which improves our knowledge and understanding. I thank Mallikarjun for conducting this session, and thank everyone who is present here. Thank you everyone.